Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and today we'll be reading chapter 3 and 4 of How the Killer Learned to Love Again. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. I didn't know what I was doing. All I wanted to do was attack the bitch. I lunged forward, punching Sasha right in the face. She fell back in shock before she could even react. I jumped on top of her and began punching her repeatedly. I didn't know how long I hit her or how hard, but the next thing I knew, I was in my car and Leo was driving me home. I didn't care about anything at the moment, but I can still hear Leah giving me the talk, though I didn't catch all of it. You shouldn't have been fighting. You're lucky you didn't get caught. That's all I needed to hear. I wouldn't get in trouble unless the bitch told on me. A few minutes later, Leah pulled up into my driveway. She sighed. Well, I'm going home. We can't go to school today, not after that. She shakes her head at me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I said. She smiles at me and gets out, and she begins to walk down the street towards her house. I looked around for my mom. She was at work. It would have been for a few hours. She wouldn't know I skipped. I opened the door and went upstairs to my room. I pulled out a spiral and began sketching a random thing. An ink, a dog, a river, a knife. Wait, what? I looked down. Suddenly, I had drawn a bloody knife, just like the one the guy had last night. I closed my sketchbook and decided to get some sleep. I crawled under the covers and drifted off to a dreamless sleep. I woke up with a start. I glanced around and what had woken me. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. It was only 2 p.m. There was still 3 hours before my got home. I sighed and went downstairs to get something to eat. I made some cereal and ate it in silence. I didn't like the silence, so I turned on some music. If I Died Young by Pari. I began to play and I smiled. I love this song. I sang along, but then I got a strange feeling. I looked around. The forest outside and the daycare place. I felt someone's presence. I stood up and walked to the stairs. Then something bumped. I looked towards where the sound was coming from. It was coming from my room. Hello? I called up, and then I heard another bump. I walked up the stairs, ignoring the fear in my stomach. I hesitantly opened the door and pushed it open. Anyways, there was nothing, just a regular room. The only difference was the window was open. I sighed and pushed it closed, and then something grabbed my leg and pulled it underneath me, twisting me around. I looked up to the face. It was the same guy from last night. He was hiding under my bed. He was holding the knife to my neck. I couldn't move. I was on the ground under him. I couldn't even move. His black eyes were piercing. I couldn't look away. Once again, this guy hesitated. I stared up at him and was annoyed again. Well, are you going to kill me? The man didn't say anything. He just let me up and he turned away from me so I couldn't see his face anymore. He stood up and asked, if you're not going to kill me, can I know your name? I was getting irritated from calling this guy the guy. The guy barely moved but glanced over to me and then said, Jeff. His voice was rough and raspy. It fitted him. I barely caught his name though. Jeff? He turned towards me, but this time I didn't flinch at his face. What's yours? I gave you mine. I only think it's fair you tell me yours. With a slight tone in his voice that it was really gave him a creepy edge. I decided to tell him my name. My name is Issa. Jeff seemed to think for a moment, but turned towards the window. Hey, I said as he jumped out my window. I looked out and saw Jeff was already gone. Was I still scared of this guy? But I wouldn't show it. How he knew where I lived. I closed the window. Was he stalking me? I shook my head and thoughts away, trying to be normal with no avail. Jeff, I muttered the name of Jeff the killer. It was later when my mother got home. She was tired and didn't notice anything out of place, so she didn't know that I skipped. But I would have to go to school tomorrow. Didn't want anyone to get suspicious. I read books and tried to do some homework that I had. I couldn't really focus. I keep glancing at the window, wondering if Jeff was out there right now watching me. Next day, Leah wouldn't shut up about Nell talking to her all damn night. You know what he told me? He said just the first bell rang, saving me from her endless chatter. I briskly walked to my history class and sat down in my seat. I was great at history, and I didn't really have to pay attention to what my teacher was saying. After all, I was taking English, so then I noticed something. Sasha wasn't there to bully me. It was strange. After all, her followers were there, and they were giving me dirty looks. I shrugged it off, thinking that they were just pissed about me attacking Sasha yesterday. I shrugged it off. The half of the day was pretty normal, no trouble. Then the campus news at lunch. Leah rolled up to my table, panting. I thought she was going to tell me about Neil, so I was wrong. What did you do? She screeched at me. What are you talking about? I asked her. Leah looked horrified as the teachers announced that Sasha was in the hospital. My blood froze. What? Maybe I didn't hear Leah right, but her face told me it was the truth. This morning, Sasha was rushed to the hospital with multiple knife wounds. I looked at my best friend in horror. I hated Sasha, but not enough to attack her like that. I didn't hurt her with a knife. I punched her in the face a few times, but I didn't stab her. I pleaded to my friend. She knew me too well, and she could tell that I was telling the truth. So, well, someone did. Leah's still freaking out. They said that she might not make it. She lost a lot of blood, and Leah couldn't say anymore as she sat down, trying to help. I tried to help her calm down. I hate Sasha, but I wasn't that hateful to stab her. Who could have done it? After the last bell was announced, the whole school knew about Sasha had lost too much blood and her wounds were fatal, and she died. Not everyone in the school liked her, but they did mourn her. I sat in my car thinking about it. The bad timing, since I got no good time about that girl. After a few hours, I drove home, and then I got there and I told Mom everything, even the fight. She hugged me and told me that tired to say, but I didn't. That Sasha told them exactly where I was in the morning at home. I need some fresh air, I told her. I slipped on my hoodie and cover and walked outside. I headed to the park where I went thinking. I sat on the bench and pulled out my mini sketch pad from my pocket. I drew a white rose with a loop dipping from a thorn. At the bottom I wrote, Sasha Brooks, I hate you, but I wouldn't never kill you. Rest in peace. Then I heard footsteps, many of them. I looked up to see the 3 girls walking towards me. It was Sasha's group. They stood and met my eyes. One of the girls said, I'm sorry, I said to them. I felt bad for her, but I wasn't going to cry in front of me or beg for forgiveness about fighting her. I just stood there, waiting for the explosion. It was no less than I expected. You killed her, roared one of the girls. Before I could respond or deny it, they attacked me. One of the random girls ran me to the ground, and the other grabbed my hair. I kicked out and thrashed around trying to get away, but those threes had me pinned down. "Get off me!" I screamed. "I didn't kill her." The others didn't listen. I felt pain on my face as the girl had left a bad bruise on me. I lashed out at one of the girls that was on top of me and I shoved her off. I rolled to my feet as the first girl fell to the ground. The other two lunged at me. I snapped to the left and the other girls missed. The other one grabbed my shoulder and scratched my face, leaving deep cuts on my cheek. I was a good fighter, but I couldn't take three all at once. I was going to lose. Just then, one of the girls gasped as she looked down to her stomach and looked at the large pool of blood forming on her shirt. That's when I just noticed the tip of a silver blade. The girl let go of me and crumpled to the ground, pool forming around her. I looked up at the person standing in front of me. "Jeff?" I whispered. Hi guys, it's Mistress Nightmare here. I just want to say big thanks for you guys for watching this channel and staying to the end of this video. If you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel. If you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, bye!